So I'm Robert Mehling here with the Sioux Empire Podcast, and I'm sitting down with Ritch Noble, who is running for Sioux Falls City Council, one of the at-large seats. Ritch, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I would love to, Robert. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. My wife Jennifer and I, we have 3 children, Mally, Kennedy, and Caston, which all go to Sioux Falls Lutheran School and Lutheran High School of Sioux Falls. We moved here in 2005 from Fremont, Nebraska. And absolutely just fell in love with Sioux Falls. It's a progressive city. It's one that we just we really took a liking to. And in 2012, I had a job change. I had sold out of the agency that I was a partner in, and we talked about maybe going somewhere else. I had just come back from a mission trip in China, and they have a lot of opportunity over there for teachers. And my wife is currently a teacher, and I was a teacher. And so we talked about potentially moving to China, taking the kids over there, what kind of an experience that would be. And I have to tell you, within a few short hours, we both agreed that Sioux Falls is just the place we want to be.
Well, excellent. I have a few just questions here that are from my listeners that I'm going to run through for you. Just let them get to know you a little bit. My first thing I'm going to ask about is a lot of them are concerned about entertainment and recreational spending here in Sioux Falls. You know, with the Denny Center for Premier Center and the Aquatic Center going in, that's kind of a hot topic right now. Share with us your thoughts about that a little bit.
You know, I will. Boy, there's never a lack of things to do in this city, that's for sure. And it depends on what really you enjoy and what you want to do as a person. A lot of people are very happy going to parks. We have fantastic parks and walking around the parks. The bike trail is just used tremendously. As a matter of fact, on my drive here, I saw several people on the trail. I am happy that we have the Denny Sanford Premier Center. It has brought in entertainment like we've never seen. It continues to attract people, but it has a bigger impact on the city than just the Denny Sanford Premier Center, and that is bringing sometimes 5 to 10 to 12,000 people into Sioux Falls, staying at hotels, eating at restaurants. And I understand that it comes at a price, but sometimes you have to spend a little money to make a little money, and I think the Summit League tournament here just recently speaks volumes of what we're able to do as far as entertainment goes in this city. We brought in over 65,000 people. Now, with that being said, the reports have come out. The Denny Sanford Premier Center is doing very well in its first year. We've all read the reports that it did not include the event center, which is okay as long as those two things are separated and as long as we stay transparent with everything. As far as the aquatic center goes, you know, I don't live on that side of town. I do have young children. I know that our pools are full. I think for the children that will use it, it will be a fantastic venue. I was a little concerned when we did the new outdoor pool on the corner of 10th and Cliff, and that pool hasn't performed very well. So I think there's good reason to have questions about the indoor facility, and good reason to have questions about why it's over budget.
Okay, the next question I'm going to ask you a little bit about is infrastructure spending. What's your personal philosophy and policy on infrastructure spending?
Well, this is one of my loves right here. We are growing. We continue to grow. I believe the report was we're growing by somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 people a year. Infrastructure is key, and it's not just key to what is already here, but key to what we're doing to grow the city and to make sure that we grow that infrastructure correctly. I'm not a bandage guy. I don't believe in just putting Band-Aids on things. We should do things. We should do them right the first time. The Home Builders Association, you know, I'll point them out. They have to be an integral part of what's going on, especially gaining 3,000 to 3,500 people a year. That has to equate somewhere to 800 to 1,100 families a year, which means more homes. We need affordable housing for those people. And so we just need to make sure that we focus on the infrastructure and that we put plenty of dollars of our budget towards there.
My next question is about fiscal responsibility. In particular here, one thing in my other interviews we've been talking about is the new, and readers have been commenting online about, is the new building for the city offices. Where do you come down on that, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, being a business owner myself, I think fiscal responsibility is a number one. If I'm not fiscally responsible as a business owner, I go out of business. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works for government. And I say unfortunately because sometimes our checkbooks as a city, as a state, as the United States, needs to be pulled in just a little bit, because there's no way we could run our businesses or our personal lives that way. However, for anyone who thinks that we shouldn't do something with the city building, I would encourage them. I was not a proponent until I took a tour with Mark Cotter, and I witnessed these folks and their work environment, and how unproductive it really is with people doing the same job in different areas of the building. They are crammed in there. I think the big hit or hard part for people to understand is just a few years ago or just recently, we put a lot of money into the reconstruction of that building. And I really think that I'd like to think that the city had the best interest of Sioux Falls in mind, that they thought that that would fix the problem. Once the reconstruction was done, then they realized it didn't fix the problem. They are packed in there like sardines. And I would encourage anyone who is on the fence on that to go down to City Hall, ask for a tour, take a tour, ask questions, ask why do they need this? Where are people working? And if memory serves me right, it was about a month and a half or almost 2 months ago, but there are 7 people still in the basement. So out of hundreds of employees, how would you like to be one of those 7 working for the city down in the basement? And they call it the dungeon. Rightfully so. They would in any business. So I would just encourage people to go and educate themselves, take a look at it, and then make a decision based on what you see as factual.
Sure. Next question. A big concern with a lot of listeners is public safety and crime in Sioux Falls. What are your thoughts on that and the trends we've been seeing, the headlines, and a lot of the candidates I've been talking to so far have talked a lot about the impression of what crime is like in Sioux Falls versus reality. What are your thoughts on public safety in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, and I wouldn't disagree with them. However, safety is one thing that I have talked about in many of my conversations with different groups and different clubs through this candidacy. Safety is number one and should be number one in all of our hearts and minds. The truth is, from a national standpoint, Sioux Falls is still a very, very safe community. We continue to see more crime on a daily basis. When we moved here in 2005, I think probably 2 or 3 times a week we would see a casino robbery or a C-store robbery. And that certainly has changed. But overall, our crime rate is still very low comparatively. However, with continued growth, we need to make sure that that number stays low. And so I am an advocate for public safety. I'm an advocate for the police department, the fire departments, because public safety isn't just criminals. It's also taking care of those that are already here and doing what they're supposed to be, but yet taking care of our firemen and firewomen. I would say, on the whole scale of things, Sioux Falls is still a very safe place to be. It's just being publicized a lot more than what it used to be.
Sure. Okay, my final question of the evening is that as a resident of Sioux Falls, why specifically should I vote for you?
Yeah, great question. I will tell you, I'm not a politician, and I don't plan to be a politician. The reason I'm running for city council is because Sioux Falls has been a blessing to me and my family, and what this city has done for us is just outstanding. And I want to give back. I'm the type of person that when I get involved with something, I get involved with both feet. As they say, I jump in. And after 10 years of what Sioux Falls has given me, it's time for me to give back. I don't have an agenda. I get asked all the time, well, what's your platform? What are you running on? And the questions you ask are very good as well, and those are things that are very key to the city. However, my agenda is to listen to the people of Sioux Falls. I am a master networker. I love to network. I love to meet people. I love to talk to people. And I intend on to keep doing that so that I can hear what people want in this city. Because really, I may be one of the 8 council members up there, but my voice really has to be from the people of Sioux Falls, the 77,000 voters, the 173,000 citizens. I have to listen to what they say to me. And that's what I plan to do on City Council, as opposed to bringing my own ideas, my own plans. Of course, I have my own things that are impressionable to me and important to me, but I've got to listen to the voters, and that's what I intend to do.
Okay. Rich, one final thing. Do you have any social media or websites or anything else that voters should be aware of to find out more about you?
Yeah, certainly. And I did not develop a website. I developed a Facebook page, and it's Ritch Noble for City Council. On that Facebook page, you're welcome to message me. I've had some people pro Ritch Noble and con Ritch Noble, but I've met with them, and that's what I will tell each and every one of your listeners is you can contact me through Facebook. You can contact me via cell phone, 605-214-2359, and I'll sit down with you. It doesn't matter. We'll make time to sit down, and it can just be one-on-one. It doesn't have to be a big group, because that is who I am and what I want to do. I need to listen to you listeners and you voters out there as to what's important to you. And so, yeah, that would be my plug. The other thing I will say is get out and vote. It is an off year. 2016, there's not a lot of things going on other than city council. But folks, this is a very important year for your city council. 50% of the council is going to turn over this year. That is a huge change for any city. Please get out and exercise your right to vote. Whether you're voting Ritch Noble or somebody else, just get out and vote April 12th.
Well, Rich, thank you very much for talking to me tonight, and good luck.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.